All right. Universal Confusion Podcast number dos 2, for those of you that don't speak Mexican, which is me. Spanish, I think, is the word. I'm Brad. I'm here with my co-host, Dale. Justin from episode number 1. He just never left. So he's actually just been camped out here since that, yeah, like, for the last
He's
month.
homeless.
He's almost what?
He said homeless.
Oh, homeless. I thought you said he's almost.
He is almost homeless.
Okay.
And also
I would be if I wasn't already home
That's right.
here.
Oh, that's sweet, Justin. And our guest this week is Kyle Whitlow.
Sup, y'all?
So, interesting story, and I mentioned it at the beginning of the podcast we did with Justin, was I was calling that podcast 1.5, because we actually recorded an entire podcast. Podcast number 1, official, was actually with you,
Yeah.
and the audio was totally screwed. I had to throw it away.
Well, with that podcast, we knew that things were going to be messed up anyways. So, we're here.
It was a good trial
It
run
was,
anyway.
it was definitely a good trial run.
It
That was, I don't know, the whiskey was flowing and everything else.
Yeah, I don't think we would have been able to use a lot of that
Yeah,
anyway.
we had a 20-minute podcast
Yes.
at best until it set in. So you've done this before, little different setup, as I'm sure everyone can see.
Yeah. This is kick ass.
We had to do something. Like you said, is with the chair and stuff. The guy in the middle, Mike was difficult. This seems to probably work out a lot better.
Oh yeah, this is
I would assume.
gonna be great. Actually, I love this. With you have the green screen up front. I can't wait to see my logo up there.
Oh
Oh yeah, was it? But no, this is actually, it feels like a lot more official. I mean, it feels like
Yeah.
you're actually like you guys got something really
Yeah,
got
like we
going on
made
here.
it. Like it's all downhill from here.
Yeah. No, this is it. This is the top. It's been a fun ride.
Well, I mean, it's we now can do pantsless podcast, so it's
That's
kinda
right.
Nice.
And we could use the green screen to
Oh yeah,
enhance.
yeah. Well, maybe you guys.
Wink, wink, hint, hint.
So, Kyle, tell me a little bit about what it is that you do for a living. You're wearing the hat.
Yeah, I'm not actually.
So-
I'm wearing the hat, not the shirt today. Is a Saturday. Most of the time, the shop's closed. But
I can appreciate that.
I make signs. I install. I'm a union. I'm a union electrician, part of the sign division. But yeah, I make and install signs. That's really about it. No, it
So
wasn't.
Friendly Signs is
Yeah.
the name of the company. You're
Yep.
local here out of Kankakee. So
Yeah, just 2 doors down.
just 2 doors down. Don't come a looking.
No, yeah, well, y'all know where I'm at anyway. So was it? No. Let's say any kind of like nowadays the big things are like EMCs, electronic message centers, which are the big, the changing signs and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Change pictures and stuff. But I mean, we do everything from was a small vinyl work all the way up to, I think the biggest job we've done is actually, most people around here would know, is like the Taylor Ford Mantino, the big sign that's out there that's changing pictures and stuff like that. We did that. But anything from the, from one end to the other, and we do. So
Now, as a sign guy, I got to imagine.
No.
Based on the signs, I know you guys do. You're probably not afraid of heights, or is that? Am I incorrect in assuming that?
No, I actually, well, it's funny because from like 0 to 40 foot up, I'm a little more timid, but 40 foot up and past that, I'm fine. There's a whole
You feel
theory.
like it's over.
If I fall out
Doesn't matter.
after
Yeah.
40 foot, if I fall out of the bucket, I'm done anyways. So might as well just get it, get the job done. Hopefully I don't fall.
Gotcha.
If
Like-
it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is.
I know I don't like heights. Dale's not a big fan. Justin, I don't.
Nope.
Not a fan of heights.
Nah.
So none of us are roofers. Got it.
Nah, like I'm kind of the same way. Like when we were military and we'd go up, and you'd have to be in the boom truck and just you're out,
Yeah.
50 feet up. It's like it's daunting. Things bouncing. Like
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it.
It's the instability.
Oh, well,
Like-
you're at the control of everything else.
You
Not
know
you
what?
have.
It hurts a lot less if I'm on the ground than I fall.
Right.
Yeah, 5 feet's kind of my limit. Anything higher than that, and I don't really like
Yeah,
it.
like,
Why am I up here? Makes no sense.
Yeah. No, I always tell my kids, like, it's not the fall I'm afraid of. It's not the heights I'm afraid of. It's the sudden stop at the end.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That's the part that I think is going to hurt.
We were,
The-
I think it was me and Sean were up at the Phillips Chevrolet over at the beside the highway, and was it windy enough day right next to the highway, trucks going by, and it's what 50 feet in the air. We're trying to get this letter put up, and the whole bucket is swaying back and forth, and you're sitting there and you're like, this sucks. Because Sean's over there white knuckling the railing. He's like, are we done yet? Are we done yet? I'm like, no, we're not. We got another about 10 minutes up here. I can't handle this, man. I'm like, don't look down. Just keep your eyes forward. He's like, but we're swaying. I can't keep my eyes positioned on something. And I'm like, I don't tell you, bud. This is it.
Yeah, you're on a cruise ship 50 feet in the air.
Yeah, just close your eyes. It's just 30 degrees out. It's nothing like, tropical or anything, but you could focus on something,
Yeah,
right?
Cruise ship in Alaska.
Yeah, there you
Which is
go.
Also, why I never go on a cruise ship. No, thank you. Not my thing.
That's why you stay closer to the bottom of the ship. You don't feel the rock as much. When you get to the top, it's more of a giant sway.
I've seen Titanic. I'm not going for a portrait or for the rest of the ride.
You don't want to be painted like one of those French girls?
Not again.
No, wow. All right, can we find a picture of that?
No, I've searched the internet entirely and can't.
He's
That one's-
Googled it
That
tirelessly.
one, it's somewhere on the dark web. I think.
The Brono Lisa, is that?
Oh, yeah,
The
that's not, I don't
Brona
put that
lease.
out there for free. I'm a businessman after all.
So subscribe to Brad's, OnlyFans here, and
That's
you be.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I have an alias. We'll put the link up.
Oh gosh.
No, that's cool. So
Yes,
This-
Bronly, so Bronly.
this sucks because my favorite story of yours, I've heard twice now. Dale's heard once, but
Uh-huh.
Justin's never heard it.
Oh, okay.
And it was on the original podcast. We didn't get a chance to put that out there.
Oh god, here we go.
I was also thinking, I had a few thoughts about the story. Maybe we leave out what bar you were at and what town and all that sort of thing.
That's
just
probably a
because
great
I'm
idea.
not sure a statute of limitations and how long ago this.
That's probably a good idea. Just blank. Just make it up. Just
All right.
pretend you
So we
don't
got
know where
this
you
joke.
were. It's not a joke. It's a true story, and it's my favorite Kyle Whitlow true story.
Oh my gosh. All right. So,
Tell Justin because he's never heard it before. So
Just
just
one time in
tell him.
band camp.
this one time in
This
band
one
camp,
time-
it involved a flute.
It was insane, man. One of those big flutes too.
Me and my buddies were out at a bar, and one of my buddies was DJing that night. And this is right when those old style hard coffees came about. I mean, you ever seen one of those?
No.
Oh, they're delicious.
And we had stated
That's-
on the previous podcast that we would never probably try one. One, I don't like coffee. Two, I don't like old style.
Yeah, well, yeah, you
But
got
there you were.
Yeah, there I was. There I was, and I was drinking these things like they were like water. And my buddy was DJing and everything else, and all my buddies are there. All of a sudden, I finished one and opened up my hand. This bartender's like from the gentleman across the way.
You heard that right.
Yeah, gentleman across the way. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm dressed pretty nice. I didn't think I was actually, wasn't really flaming this out tonight. By the way, I am straight. This guy,
Why'd you guys bring me on here? What the
what the hell, man? I thought you told me we were gonna have some fun. No, well, is it and this guy, actually apparently took a liking to me, and so I'm drinking this, and you kind of take him across the bar, but you go back to my buddies, and we're drinking and everything else, and he comes walking over, and he starts flirting with me. And problem is that I love compliments, and it's so great about that kind of stuff is that when we can look at your girlfriend and stuff like that, you're like, I have options.
You do have.
I have options. Now, guy was flirting with me pretty heavy, and I'm telling him like, thank you, but I'm not gay, and he wasn't taking no for an answer. And I finally am like, hey, just with my buddies, I'm trying to have a good time. Please leave me alone. Not thinking anything really of it. The guy walks away, and I had to go to the bathroom. Well, at a certain establishment, you go outside. There's a dumpster, so like right by the the front door. And as I'm relieving myself, that guy comes walking outside, come and find me.
You get the
Yeah, the pat in the back. Hey, well, you're in this position already, and you're sitting there, and you're like,
You feel vulnerable.
you're very vulnerable when you have your
Oh,
dick in
come
your
on
hands,
now.
and a not
It's a
a
bad
not a
position to be
nice
in.
dainty hand comes tapping. And you're like, oh, well, you're already here.
Uh-huh.
It's a masculine hand,
Mm,
and
like a firm handshake.
very very firm handshake, and was it all of a sudden things just start shriveling.
Hmm.
You don't want to pee no more.
Yeah.
So, and he was not taking no as an answer, and I'm outside, and I'm like, dude, I'm not gay, I'm straight, and he's like, yeah, so is so is a noodle till you get it wet. At this point in time, he put his hands on me, and I mean, you swing, I swung, I knocked him out. I felt bad. First off, you make sure vitals are still there, he's breathing. I pick him up. I put him in dumpster. Dumpster. And you make a beeline inside, go to your buddies. I'm like, hey, we got to get the hell out of here. What? We got to get out of here, man. What'd you do? I just knocked the guy out. I put him in the dumpster. No, you did. Yes, I did. Well, okay. This story is one of those, it's like you're looking at it and my buddy came up to me and said, I knocked out a guy. I put him in the dumpster. I'm going to be honest. What they did was probably about right. You walk outside with your phone on your flashlight and you're looking around in the dumpster trying to find the guy. The guy's sitting there like, holy shit, you did. I'm like, let's go. Let's go.
We don't have time for pictures.
We don't have time for pictures. I don't need any photographic evidence either. Come on, let's go. Now, this whole story made me realize is, what how women feel when a guy's at a bar and they will not stop, like, being persistent and trying to go home with them. And I'm like, I was that part. I felt that. I'm like,
Oh,
and it
man.
kind of throws you a whole new perspective on the whole, like, walking up to a girl when she says no, just, hey, that's okay. I've been in your shoes. I don't want this.
I'll never hit on someone the same way again.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to end up in a dumpster. So
I see. He's got the hashtag Me Too.
yeah. Not really, but
Went home and ordered the T-shirt on Amazon.
Oh my
Took a cold
God,
shower.
guys are such assholes.
That's hilarious.
all guys are just bastards. Well, some of us, but not all. Come on, it's just one of those. Is that
I
it
think
was
all
just,
people are just bastards. I don't think it's just guys. I think men, women.
whatever
else in
whatever else there in between. Apache helicopters.
I was
people
driving
showing-
around today thinking about how much I hate people.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. It's just one of those is that I like to consider myself the most non-people person
Yeah.
out there. Is that if I have to deal with you, I will put on a smiling face. I will
Oh, same,
I will talk to you. I have no problem with that. But if I don't know you personally, I'd rather just not talk to you. And if you
Yeah.
look my way and smile, I may give you that, but don't come over and conversate with me. No, that's not how
That's
this
the
works.
same thing at the front counter. I got to deal with people all the time, and most of them are good people, and I
Yeah.
don't mind dealing with them. But every once in a while, you just get one that you're just like. That's funny because these two know the look
Oh,
when
yeah.
I walk out that door, and they're like, "Tell me,
Yeah. This has to be a really good story.
what did you just have to deal with?" I
I-
was driving around earlier, and I was just like, you know what? And I started thinking about, so like you grew up, well, all of us, I think, maybe minus you, grew up in small towns.
I grew up here.
Yeah, so relatively small town, but not like out in the country kind of thing. Now, I'm not trying to put you out like you're a city boy.
Oh yeah, man. He's from the big city of
Big old
Bradley.
city. Yeah.
City of Bradley and
Yeah.
Aroma Park. Yeah.
No, but I was thinking about it, and I was like, I'm gonna start like when I start looking for another house. Me and the wife want to start looking for another house in the next 5 years or so. I'm going to base it off of which round can hit the neighboring house. Like, I would love to have a 50 cal property where I can shoot a 50 cal and it won't hit the house next door.
That seemed I
I'll
like
settle for a 5.56.
that. But nothing small.
Right now, I'm living in BB gun land. Right.
Well, are you talking like straight shot, like, or are you talking like 45? I mean, what kind of angle?
I think what you would have to do, you'd have to level the gun to really just to give it a baseline.
You give it a flat, flat
Yeah,
zero.
flat, and then
like what? A good mile and a half.
perfect. if there's no one around for a mile, mile and a half, I am a happy, happy person.
I think bowling
bet.
ball cannon area is where I'd like to
For
be.
you?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you kind of got the 556 area right now. I
Yeah.
mean, your uncle's on the same mile, but it's just you two on
Well,
the same
you
mile.
know, there's, I mean, a half a mile down the road. I definitely couldn't just spin around in circles shooting it. Somebody would probably.
I mean, maybe.
That's their problem. That's just me.
But I did realize I would probably settle for shotgun range. Yeah,
Shotgun, yeah, okay. Nah.
you know, not bird shots.
Now you're talking
A
about
little bit more of like
pepper in
your
a guy.
Well,
or-
see how well you can create this by checking the flamethrower distance
yeah.
Okay,
of your neighbor's house.
that's how you do this.
yeah, because then they're not there anymore.
If you do that in both directions long enough, eventually you'll be flamethrower distance from the nearest house.
Yeah, at least,
Eventually.
and you have a
Eventually.
potential of growth with the
I
flamethrower.
was gonna
gun.
say it
Like,
tends to expand the circle for you.
yes.
very.
That's pretty good.
it just works out all in the end.
That's something I didn't think about. But no, I was literally driving around today thinking about that.
Well, one of the things was is that you know,
what?
was
I
it
fucking
trying
hate people. Like,
well, was it now that's one of the other things is that I've been looking at, you know, was it different kinds of properties too, but if they're not established, one thing I've learned is that you can petition the county. It's like the Kankakee County, you have to buy like, you know, I think it's like 20 acres, you know, at one time. But if you follow creek lines and roads and you have that weird, you know, like so like almost like point of a land, you can you can buy so much of that acreage. And it doesn't have to be 20, but because it's not a square plot.
Gotcha.
So you can petition the county to actually buy it, and if the farmer's cool with it, I mean the farmer has to be cool with it selling his own land, but if the county's cool with it, they'll let you buy it. So I've been kind of keeping an eye on that
Looking
because
around.
trying to find buying 20 acres in Kankakee County is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
But
Oh, yeah.
it's just one of those or you find established, you know, places that doesn't have a house on it that had a house on it before.
Yeah.
But-
Or an old house where it's not really worth anything. You could
Exactly.
And then
rebuild
tear it
something,
down
sure.
and build something else.
There's ways of getting around it. It's just the fact of is that buy 20, you know, was it build on 5 and you know wasn't rent out the rest. That's the only thing I can think of is if you're gonna go buy that way that they want you to do it. So
Buy farm ground.
yeah,
Oh yeah, I would do that and just put nothing on it. Just let it go.
just let it go. And I
I'm-
got my hunting grounds.
I'd mow like 2 acres around my house and be done with it. Just let
Well,
the rest
yeah,
go.
You just see this
More
giant
for
circle.
bug
He has a
control
lawnmower
than
hooked up to
anything.
a
Yeah,
rope
well,
to his
that
house,
and
just going
wildlife
around all
and-
the time.
Give you something to do.
Not a
Go
bad
walking
idea.
through it. You know.
Oh yeah, no,
I
loved
watched
when
him
we
do
lived
what
out
a
in
guy did with a
country.
flagpole at the
in
lake.
the
He just,
woods.
you know, his
Oh,
lawn
dude,
was
it's
just
so
mowed,
nice.
and when it got done,
It's awesome.
was it just wrapped around and it just died. I'm like, huh, that's neat. He had he looked like a giant bullseye, you know, in his yard at the lake.
No, I mean, I like that way. Like, I hate like my kids. Send them outside. It's like get home by.
I
the time
hate
it's
my
like-
kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's not what I meant. That's what I
my
said.
kids.
That's what I said.
Punctuation is everyone, everything.
That's
people.
what I said. That's not what I meant. I love my kid. I love my kids. But no, like sending them out and like they gotta be in by the time the street lights come. Like I didn't have street lights. There was
Yeah.
no like get in by this time.
Yeah, no.
It was like just where are you? I don't on the property somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, there's also if you just want to keep them on the property, you know, you do that invisible fence line and just give them the shot collars for
I'm
the
not
dogs.
sure. I'm not sure. Oh, dude, we got the German Shepherd. She barks at everything that moves. So we got her one of those bark collars.
How's that
She's
work?
never been so quiet.
Don't like it, huh?
Oh, and I don't even have it on shock. I just got it on vibrate, and she loses. She's like freaking out every time it goes off. So she barked like 3 times in the last week.
Nice.
I'm not sure if it. I don't. The wife really wanted it because it drove her nuts. But I'm just like, that's what the dog's supposed to do. Like, it's a little
Yeah.
annoying when you're sitting there and the kids are driving their remote control cars past and the dog's freaking out about it. So that's kind of annoying.
Yeah, guard dog in town's just hard because they hear every fucking noise. So
Yeah. Well, every time I was testing it with we got the Ring doorbell, so I was testing it with the Ring doorbell sound on YouTube,
Uh-huh.
and just playing it over and over until she got the idea that this is gonna suck when I bark at this noise because
There
they
you
all
go.
bark at the noise.
Uh huh.
Oh yeah.
So that was an interesting. I was kind of giggling.
just messing with your dog.
Well, I mean, it's
Yeah,
it's on vibrate. It it's not hurting the dog. Fine.
PETA, don't come after us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. The tens of people watching this podcast. I'm sure
Hey.
one of them's PETA.
Don't worry, someone will find this, and someone will be like, "Oh my gosh, he's using something."
I
Maybe
can't
like,
believe you would do that to his dog.
I say bring it on.
it's better than what I did to my.
I'll fight you all.
I will
I don't-
fight you.
And I'll eat animals while I do it.
With,
I-
a, with a turkey leg and
Yeah.
one hand.
Swinging a cat's out of the other one. Just
So what you got? Any of you other guys got any questions for Mr. Kyle Whitlow,
Oh God, here
runner
we go.
and sign extraordinaire?
so. What's your favorite color?
Yeah,
Chrome.
you're not old enough to like Chrome.
Oh, there's an age limit now. Oh, I got.
50.
You
50.
It says it on the
ages?
packaging.
For
Must
50 and
be-
over.
Must be 50 to enjoy.
Well, I do like the blacked out murder looks and all that. You know, on like vehicles and everything.
Okay.
But, a good touch of chrome. Just
No, it just runs in your family. I think your uncle's the same way.
yeah. My dad was the same way. Hunter likes that murdered out look. I like chrome, but I like everything being shiny.
You guys are squirrels, bunch of squirrels.
Hey, I know I'm nuttier than squirrel shake. No,
Although like all chrome cars look pretty sick.
when they definitely when they're polished up and everything, you kind of walk up to them, you don't know what it is until you get like real close to. You're like,
Yeah,
Holy
it's just hard
shit.
to
And
see
then,
the
you
line.
realize it's the spaceship from that old Disney movie,
Oh, yeah. What was that called?
Flight of the Navigator.
All dogs
That's
go to
the
heaven?
one. Oh, no, Justin.
Oh.
He was sheltered.
What did he say?
All dogs go to heaven.
I thought that's what you.
Was there a spaceship in that movie?
Yeah, I don't know. I just they went to heaven. I assume there were spaceships.
Oh.
How did they get there?
Yeah, it
Why
could
did the
have been.
navigator? That shit.
Yeah, they
is
went to
fucking
heaven, so there
beautiful.
has to be spaceships. Or do you live out in Stell?
That's funny.
Justin,
you
your
know.
turn. What's your questions?
What? I'm just here.
It's just here, dude, man.
Oh, so
I
tell
thought
me.
you guys said you needed sex appeal, so
Yeah,
I showed up.
That's right. You're the eye candy of the group.
That's right. As long as I don't smile or squint or do anything with my face or show
What do I do with my hand?
Or
it.
no, how about water skiing? Tell me about water skiing because that's something I've never done. I've never done any kind of skiing.
You know,
Water skiing,
No.
water skiing hurts. I know
water,
that.
bathtub.
everything hurts, man. Was it water skiing? So well, I've been skiing since I was 2.
You got into it early, yeah.
Yeah, real early. Dad had me on 2 years and 10 months old. Dad was always really proud of that. I was just like, most of my buddies were skiing like when they were 4. I was still trying to figure out, what end of the fork to use. But no, I started off real young, and you learn everything. You try to learn as much as you can on the water. So kneeboarding, barefooting, wakeboarding, slalom skiing, all air chairing, everything. My dad wanted me to learn everything on the water. Well, I did. That kind of got a little boring, so got to get back. My dad got in the back to competitive skiing with me, so now I consider myself what they call a jumper, in which I hit a ramp and see how far I can go.
I was gonna say there's different categories
Yep.
of water skiing, I assume.
Well, everything can be into a competition, but what I say, what I'm into is called 3 event, which is jumping. You got jumping, which is hitting the ramp. You have trick skiing, which is a real fat short ski that you do, flips and twists and stuff like that, and you try to get a score off of the kind of combo moves you do and stuff like that. Then you have slalom skiing, which is basically the boat runs down a set of buoys while you're going back and forth between 6 different buoys on each side. 3 buoys on each side of the boat, which total out to be 6.
Sure.
And now that's all fine and dandy, but I learned I'm about as flexible as a 2x4, so trick skiing was out the door. And then slalom skiers, because what they do is that as you're slalom skiing, the rope keeps getting shorter and shorter and shorter, so you have to keep stretching farther and farther and farther. Well, your boy here is only 5'10", and after when the rope gets so short,
Yeah, don't
there's
got,
not much of me left to actually
don't got
stretch
the
around that
wingspan
boat.
for that.
Yeah. And so jumping was like, okay, this is easy enough. You have to have more balls than brains,
Right.
and you just
You just
gotta,
have to go faster.
You gotta go faster and hit the ramp harder and everything else. I used to have on my old helmet, it said thinking was overrated. Just do it. Well, after a while once you start getting out to farther distances, you got to start thinking on how you're prepping the land, because the more airtime you have, the more time you have to think. And the problem is that you're sitting there and you're not really paying attention. You're coming across that wake and hey shit, hit the ramp's here. You crush on the ramp, you hit your head in the back of the ramp, then you're flying through the air. You're like, these clouds look really nice. Wait a second, I'm not supposed to be looking at the clouds.
Yeah.
And you land in the water, and your skis are blowing off, and the paramedics are coming in trying to swim to you. Then your dad's on shore. Get your skis back on, you stupid pussy.
Thanks, Dad.
Thanks,
We
Dad.
got the concussion protocol around here.
Swim that off. Swim it off.
You're like,
Swim it off.
Yeah.
He's drowning. He'll swim it off.
you're sitting there, and you're coughing up water, and you get to the dock. They're like, you're not skiing anymore. I'm like, that's probably a good idea. I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. You're shitting water because you got an enema.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're starting to pee, and that's funny colors because there's blood in your piss.
Oh, yeah.
Dad says,
Kidneys don't like that trauma.
no, they don't. And your dad's still sitting over there. You're gonna jump again, right? And I'm like, I think I should go to the hospital, man.
Yeah.
I've had worse in my day. I'm like, you peed funny colors? I mean, I'm just kind of curious. I mean, you may want to go get that checked out, Dad.
And then
But-
he went back out there and did
Yeah,
it
they
again.
did it again. But they had more substances back in the day than what we have now.
What's allowed?
Yeah, what's allowed, and the drug tests are a little more not as lenient as they used to be.
Yeah, even smelling salts. They were a lot more liberal
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
smelling
yeah.
salts back in the day.
Yeah, when you're sitting there and the guy's over there and he's just taking straight up speed back in like 1980, you're like, dude, that's meth. What are you doing, man?
Which is wild because they're not even like running or anything like that. They're just getting pulled by this boat. So I mean, can you imagine that rush?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there and
Like,
I'm
they're
like,
not even burning off the energy; it's just stored up, like ready to
I
go.
take these guys are putting their heads through docks where I'm sitting. There. I'm like, I had a monster earlier. That was about as much energy as I'm going to need for this. But no, was it? I've done about everything on the water. I mean, when I was down in Florida, was just last week. I was skiing with a guy named Lucky Low.
That's right. You went to some camp or something.
Yeah, I went to a ski school, and
That's right.
Lucky Low, world champion water skier. Spent was years abroad. Was winning world championships and everything else. And you skied with like Scotty Ellis, which you guys wouldn't know these names, but
None of them, but it's okay. Go ahead.
Man,
was it?
dude.
That was Mike.
Yes, Scotty Ellis, Sammy Duvall. He was actually on the world tour with Sammy Duvall back in the day, the O'Neill course tour. So yeah, skiing used to have beer, was a beer sponsor.
Yeah.
It used to be a cool thing back in the day.
Beer used to sponsor a lot of things.
He's
All
dead.
the time.
Well, now Red Bulls and like everything, but
I'm not sure it's better for you.
I really don't think so. I think everyone has a better time with beer, anyways. I think bring back Budweiser.
It hurts less when you hit a ramp, I think.
Yeah,
after some
When you're
coolers.
drinking Budweiser instead of Red Bull, yeah, definitely.
but
Sure.
was it? I was skiing with them, and they were trying to teach me some stuff, but with everyone that doesn't know me personally, was it? I have cerebral palsy on my right side, so my kind of skiing is different from anybody else's, and he is old school skier. This is how you ski. If you don't ski this way, you'll
never make it.
Exactly. And I'm like, motherfucker, I have cerebral palsy. I have adapted to this. And he's like, oh, and all of a sudden he backed off. He's like, how about we try to work with this? And I'm like, there we go. And I've learned a couple of things. I don't know, say if my jumping's got any better, but my form's definitely gotten better at going through the air. It's just I had fun. It was a great time. The only thing was some things that I'm not used to are down there that are up here. It's like alligators.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in the
That's
water with you.
alligators.
Yeah.
And so one of the big things is
Harmless.
oh yeah, right.
Harmless.
They say that, but they're talking
a
to
goldfish.
they're talking to a Midwestern corn-fed country boy.
Yeah. I'll wrestle a coyote before I want that fucking
Well, it's-
alligator.
now, when they
Oh,
come into
hell
the
yeah.
dock, what they do is they whip you into the dock. So the boat turns while you actually whip outside and you land real close to the dock. Well, I misjudged this. I'm about 15 foot off the dock. Now, I get up and I'm in the water and I'm not thinking twice about it. I'm in the water. I'm having a great day. This is like paradise to me. And you hear that low, like deep belly growl.
Mhm.
My skis with my bindings are like $3,500, for the whole set. I treat those skis better than I treat most of my girlfriends. I have never said fuck my skis before. I popped those off. You thought I was Jesus coming across that water. I jumped on the dock and the guys in the boat are laughing their asses off at me. They're like, he won't bother you. And I'm like, unless he's fucking hungry. I mean, what the fuck?
Right, I look like a Snickers bar.
Right now, I'm in a nice little package. I look like was a sausage, with a barefoot suit on. I'm like,
oh man, somebody's delivering some beef jerky today.
Exactly. Like they're all laughing at me. They're like, no, you're fine. Don't worry about it. I'm like, nah, I'm good. At that point in time, because you usually get off the dock, with your skis to get in the water, and then they pull you out of the water. I did flying dock starts from then on out. I was on the dock, and they pulled me
Spending
off
as
the
little
time in the water as
possible.
much as I can, and it was, oh my gosh. And then when you fall on the ramp, and you're looking around, and you're like, the boat's coming back to me. I'm like, come on, man, let's go. Let's give me the rope. Let me get out of here. They're like, everything okay? And he's taking his time. I'm like, get me out of this goddamn water.
Yeah, they don't care.
And then they're
They're
like,
all used to that.
they're used to that kind of
on 3 or 4 of them in their day, and they don't care.
Well, we were working on one of the ramps afterwards, and we're trying to adjust and all that, and he's in the water. Now, when I first got down there, it was like 65 degrees. To us right now, 65 degrees. I was wearing a tank top, shorts, and
that's beautiful.
flip-flops and running around. These guys are in like full out jeans, sweatshirts, stocking
right.
caps, and they had to get in the water with me to work on the ramp. Well, they put on like 3 different wetsuits to get into the water with me. I'm in my swimming trunks, and as I'm swimming around, there's a water moccasin sitting on the ramp. I know we have those here.
Yeah.
You don't mess with those. You
No.
swim the opposite way.
Yeah.
He comes up. He has a stick in his hand. He's like, go, move. I'm like, how ballsy do you have to be?
Yeah.
I know there's not a hospital within 30 minutes of this place, and you're going to be dead. He's
Right.
like, you just got to nudge them along. They'll be fine. I'm like, most of the time when I see one of those, it's usually snake shot, and we're just done with that. Watch them sink.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So,
No, I grew up around snakes. They don't bother me.
I'm not a fan.
Not a fan. Not a fan.
They're pretty well harmless. There's a couple, like the black mamba. You should probably worry about.
Yeah, don't play with that guy.
But unless you step on them,
you're
most
like
snakes ain't gonna bite.
cruising around here and you see one of those, something's wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Kill Bill
What?
Volume 3.
Somebody's pet got out if you see one of those.
Yeah.
They probably don't even know what to do at that point because they're just trying
Well-
to figure out how to get to warm.
Well,
Yeah.
you ever
Oh,
thought
yeah,
about it?
it's
It's like,
quick.
when like people will like sneak exotic pets back in from like Mexico and stuff like that. Like, like when someone gets an iguana and they're like, like this big and everything else, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. And when they get to like 5 foot and they're like, I don't know what to do with them, throw them out the door. Yeah, let them run rampant in the streets, scaring the shit out of people. It's just like, what the fuck?
It'd be dead when winter sets in anyway. It's not gonna hurt anything.
I looked at it and like down there, it's like he's like, yep. I went out. I was staying in the cabin, and what he considers as a cabin was, you walk in. I swear the beds were made out of straw, and there's no
Or
pillows.
like a horse barn.
Yeah, I looked at it, and there's no pillows. So you take your wet barefoot suit, wrap it up, make you can make a pillow out of it,
Jesus.
and
That's
Was-
hardcore.
well, yeah, I'm like, oh, so we're going back to like old school shit here, and I'm like, I at my other, at my mom's house down in Florida, which is 3 hours from there. I'm like, I have Wi-Fi, I have air conditioning. And, well, he did have an air conditioner there from like 1970, which I thought had a pull cord on it. But you fired that thing up, and
Nah,
it
he's
makes
training you for military
Very
ski.
cool. Yeah. Well,
Just say Jesus, man.
it was funny because I'm looking around, I'm trying to find the light in this place. Because I see the light bulb.
Mhm.
I don't see any actual like switch. I go up, I screw it in, and that's your light. You screw it in and unscrew
Turn
it.
off. Yeah.
I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, I'm looking at like, where's the nearest hotel? And I'm like, I am nowhere near civilization right now. I'm like, all of a sudden I start, once you figure out, it's like, okay, there's like, a restaurant 4 miles that way, but that's really about it. And it's like, you start hearing the banjos go off. You're like, oh, fuck.
Well, you can't puss out.
No, I'm
can't
there.
go- You can't go to the Hyatt and then show up the next day and think everything's gonna be fine.
yeah, it was, but
Hey,
all in all, I spent 2 days there, and then I took off for like 3 days because first time ever going back to jumping since my dad passed. So it was one
It's
of
been
those.
that long since you
Oh,
did it.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, my dad was always my boat driver and everything. So
Gotcha.
it was weird. Like someone was like, "Hey, you want to go jump?" And I'm like, "No, not really, because you don't know how to drive.
You don't
And-
trust your
yeah,
brother.
I don't.
huh?
I don't
Yeah.
trust you." And they're like, "Well, you're gonna have to figure out something." And I'm like, "When I actually go down and actually go ski with someone, actually that is doing this day in day out.
Yeah.
This is what they do for a living. Yeah, I will go jump."
Oh yeah, because your driver can get you hurt real fast.
Oh, yeah. Well, all they had to do is just go out the ramp at a slightly different angle, and I'm in the hospital. So
Yeah, that's no fun.
So, but where was I at with
Except the
this?
nurses, though.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, but
I think there was a memory there.
anyways, but here's the thing: I may be, as I said earlier, I may be like a Midwestern 6, but I am like a Florida 4.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
those guys down there are like, they're like chiseled, and I'm like, I got that Midwestern corn-fed gut, man. All the girls love this dad bod up here. No, not down there. You
Down
got
there, they're like, oh, here we go. We got
Oh.
company waving
Wait a
at the
minute.
back window
Who
for
is
you.
it?
Hunter, my little brother, and
Yeah.
Brandon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you got,
All
you
right.
got
Well, let's-
fans.
Was it we were at Jimbo's last night. It's the old Parkway Inn, and one of my buddy's dad is his nickname is Shrek. His biker name is Shrek, and that's all I know him by. I think his name's Bill, but I don't know. And
His name's
sitting-
Bill.
Was it the guy? He's trying to sell one of his motorcycles, and it's a decent Harley. I mean, it's a newer Harley. He was asking like 15 grand for it. And I'm like, all right. Well, I'm looking at it. I'm like, if I had the money, I would buy it myself. It's a really good looking bike. It's not like your normal Harley black chrome. It has like this weird, almost like the lime green,
Okay.
and with hand done pinstriping and everything else. It is beautiful. And a guy's trying to sell him like an '01 Dodge 1500 Magnum V8, with a long bed with 175,000 miles on it. Trying to trade it for him like straight up. And I'm like,
Nice.
he's like, he hands the phone over to me. He's like, what would you do? I'm like, I'll tell him no thanks. I looked at him. I'm like, I don't care what it is. It's not if it was maybe a Cummins, I would maybe start, be like, all right, we could work out something and a little bit of cash. Maybe we could figure something out.
Yeah, with close to 200, maybe a diesel, but
Yeah, but
still.
it's just you're looking at it, you're like, what the fuck? And people come up with the craziest
Oh,
shit.
I had a dude offer me for something. I was selling it for what, 2,500, something like that, the item,
Mhm.
and he offered me an AR-15, and I'm like, well, I could probably do an AR-15 and some cash,
Right.
depending on what kind of AR-15. Oh, but it's got. He replies, it's like it's got a scope and it's got this, and I'm like, okay, what kind of scope does it have?
Mhm.
What kind of lower does it have, et cetera, et cetera. And he's like, oh, it's like a 4x10 scope, blah blah blah. I'm like, no, dude, you don't understand. A scope can be $100 or it can be $3,500.
Yeah, well, same magnification.
It has
and
a scope.
The
doesn't
glass
really help
is
me.
garbage. And yeah.
Well,
Just because you took a
like what?
plastic tube,
Yeah,
and
off of
glued
your
some
Nerf gun and
It's
glued it on
a
there.
toilet paper roll.
It makes a big difference, guy. Not interested. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing is that when it comes down to like guns and all that, I mean, you're talking about you could have a budget AR and was it be spending like less than $700 and have it look
Yeah.
completely decked
And
out.
work
Oh, yeah.
great and work fantastic, but it's not worth.
The money that everyone oh my
Yeah.
gosh, this is worth it, because you could have two ARs lined up next to each other, they look identical,
Oh yeah.
but all of a sudden you start looking at brands of what's on that AR or the AR itself. I could like my Delton, I think I may have less than $1,200 wrapped up into it.
Yeah.
You know what? If it falls in the mud, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Throw a little more on it.
They throw a little more on it. You know what? I'll take this
Yeah.
side.
little
I'll-
lube.
I'll
and
take-
fucking go.
Yeah, but now, little brother bought, has a gun.
He
That
stopped
is-
in the other day and was telling us about
was
it.
excited.
But
Yeah, he
I
absolutely.
have yet to
that-
see it.
Oh, was the Cox AR? Oh my god, I think it's funny because it was like Cox is like one of the best brands out right now. I'm like,
Your brother loves cocks.
I'm like, oh, here's
Hashtag
you.
ad.
I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm sitting to myself because Hunter's so excited for it. And I really don't want to ruin that for him because this is like his
Yeah.
first big gun purchase, and I
Yeah.
really just want to be like, "You like cocks?"
You like cocks.
Oh,
You
you
know
gotta
like
throw
cocks.
it in there. every once in a while.
It's
But
all right to
you
like
have to.
cocks, especially if it shoots.
Yeah. It's hard. It's long.
Yeah.
It's light. Girls love it.
Does some damage.
Yeah, it does.
It does some damage.
But
Just got banned by our governor.
yeah, oh God, who was it? What was it? Hunter. Hunter has more money wrapped up in just the gun itself, no attachments or anything, than I have on one of mine. And
Oh,
it's just
yeah.
one of those. Just like that's the thing is that it's just when someone's like, "I'll trade you a gun," I'm like, "Okay, I have a 357 revolver. Cool." I bought one of those for $300 back in the day. I mean, brand new, out of the store, legal, not hot, clean.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
and it's just one of those. I'm like, yeah, but like I know guys that had 357 revolvers that are worth was it $3,000? It's just, Colt Python.
Yeah, it depends on what it is.
It's
yeah.
just one of those
Well,
like
I have a lever action Rossi 38 357, and they're great guns. But
It's not
its
a Henry.
value compared to the Henry is
Yeah.
half.
right.
You know.
Plus the
Shoot the
machining
same,
and
yeah,
the
does
all
it.
Yeah,
that
it's
stuff.
definitely the fit and finish. I
Mhm.
mean, I took mine apart and actually cleaned it up and
Yeah.
sanded some stuff down to
It
get
works.
operation
It's
better.
a great gun.
Which
Right.
where you buy a Henry and you don't need to do that.
Mm-mm.
You just go.
Well, that's the thing is that you can line the two up and they shoot the same. They do everything. They're same accuracy, same all the way down to the what kind of metal they're using. But it's just the fact of is that name, that brand,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
everything else. It's one of those that it's like anything else. When you think about it, it's like girls and purses. You can have a girl that's walking around with a Louis Vuitton, and then you have a girl that bought the same purse that's same size, same shape, everything else from Dollar General.
Well,
yeah.
A whole same amount of
Sure.
shit.
it'll work the same, but one has longevity, and I think that's where the top brand guns are worth more money is the fact that if you took the Henry,
Which
and
I
the
think is
Rossi
different from like
lever
the
action-
purses, because I'm not sure
and
it's
well, it-
different longevity. I think the whole fashion.
I don't really care
Fuck
about
it.
the purses. I'm just saying that's the thing with
No,
the
no,
guns.
I'm
is
just saying,
if you
like,
run
the
if you
fashion
run
is all
4,000
bullshit.
rounds through the Henry versus 4,000 rounds through the Rossi, I've already had to reset my barrel because it was starting to come unpressed.
Yeah,
from the low- from the
that's
actual
right. So it
chamber.
wasn't pinned; it was just pressed in.
It was just pressed, right? Whereas I really doubt you'd see that problem with the Henry. I do love that
Well,
gun. It's a fantastic rifle.
because
but
it's going to be certain little fit and finish things. It's the internals, what the springs are made out of. And it's
Exactly.
going to be those little bitty things that when they don't rust in like so many years and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it was I okay.
A lot.
I get
Some
you on
of
that
them
one
are
because
just overpriced.
I'll tell you
Fucking
was it
garbage.
everything's overpriced.
Everything.
Look at eggs.
Look at eggs. Jesus
I
Christ!
had
I'm in
to-
the
I had to
summer
wait.
page.
$3.50 today.
I
I
had
went
to-
to the grocery store. $3.50
$3.50 for what?
That's not bad. For a dozen?
For a dozen eggs.
I don't know. Is that
Not-
expensive? I don't know. I don't buy eggs that often.
That's
Like
not-
I don't.
As
It's
much
a
as I
little.
buy eggs,
I don't freak out
if
about the
eggs
whole.
triple in price. It's seriously going
I
to
don't
up
freak
my
out about the
yearly
whole egg
expense like
price thing, but I
$7
was
bucks.
paying like $1.59 for the same carton of eggs
Okay.
probably 2 months ago.
Well,
So doubled at least.
I don't know. It's
so
like-
I think we all just need to go over to the
Cali was
Schultz's and just maybe go steal a couple of chickens.
Oh, dude, my neighbor, her family has land out there by the river,
Mhm.
and they have chickens.
Can't you have chickens?
I can.
You can have chickens.
Yeah.
actually really good.
I
to
should
in
have.
the
Get
garden.
chickens.
Well, that's okay, but we did the calculations back in the day because we bought like 12 chickens
Okay.
between the feed
Yeah.
and the chicken, the electricity, the stuff they had to put down, the habitats and everything else. We were never gonna get our money back out no matter what we did if we kept, was just using farm
No,
fresh eggs.
Dude, don't eat the eggs. Sell them.
And well, that's the thing. It's that. Well,
Yeah.
when you buy a
$1.50.
$4
$12 well,
and be
that-
like they're farm fresh.
yeah, farm fresh.
Free range.
Free range.
Inside
Free-
my fence.
Free range.
Free range to an extent. But
Free range chickens would not go well around here. I mean, coyotes would love it.
yeah,
They would really enjoy your free range chicken.
chickens.
Well, so like my neighbor will give us pretty much free eggs whenever we want them because they have so many eggs from
Because they have actual chicken.
however
farm,
many
right?
chickens they got. And she's like, let me know when you want them or whatever. But I always forget. And so like I need them. And Declan, my youngest, he's like, Dad, let's get the brown eggs. They just taste better. I'm like, it's not because they're brown eggs that make them taste better. They tasted better because they were fresh eggs. The brown eggs for $7.50 at the grocery store are like free range, all organic, blah blah. I'm like, I'm not paying $7.50 for a dozen eggs.
No.
No,
I'll get the $3 ones.
I will go out and I'll squeeze a
With some
duck's,
salt and pepper.
squeeze duck's ass until something pops out.
I can't
Before
remember.
that.
I can't remember what causes brown eggs either, but it's something really, really simple. It's just a genetic thing with the chicken. It doesn't mean anything.
I think most eggs are. I think the white eggs are dyed actually to clean them up because people are like weirded out about the colored eggs.
I don't know about that. No, because
The only time I'm weirded out is when there's a piece of
and they
shit.
laid white eggs.
I just
Really?
figured
Yeah.
they were Asian chickens and having soy sauce.
Oh, very
So what happens
brown
when you feed your
eggs.
chicken soy sauce if their eggs are brown?
No salt needed.
No, sorry.
MSG.
MSG everywhere. Make shit.
They feed the
good.
chickens
Okay.
MSG.
That
Well,
can't.
That can't be right.
that can't be fucking right. But
Uh,
either way,
Oh.
my table's
you good
You
there,
all right
bud?
there, bud?
There we go. Now it's shiny.
He's
again.
so worried about the finish. I think it looks good.
That's like sexual chocolate.
Is that the color?
I knew it.
They play so fine, don't you agree?
What?
Fuck.
He said sexual chocolate.
Oh.
Them boys good.
Sexual chocolate. Coming to America.
Very soon.
My dad had a.
I haven't seen the new one yet. They did a new one.
They did a new one?
Was it a remake or
Coming
just a?
to America. Yeah.
Did they really?
Coming to America? Yeah. Was it? They did it. It's actually pretty damn good. It's funny as hell.
The new one is?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to check that out. It was
It-
so. My dad he owned a general store in Moni,
Uh-huh.
and they owned it for like 12 years.
Mhm.
They made money a couple of years, and they were always just break even or whatever. And they decided, get out of it. So when he did decide to close it down, he ended up having like a tiny little movie section in like the corner of the store where you could come in and rent movies and stuff. I'm sure they were just trying to generate revenue or whatever.
Right.
I got to go and pick one movie out of the section when they were closing down, and it was Coming to America.
Nice.
Had no idea
Nice.
what it was, no idea what it was about. I'm sure he didn't either because he is not that kind of like movie or
Yeah.
comedy
Yeah, he wouldn't.
Connoisseur.
He wouldn't have enjoyed it.
at all.
Yeah.
he probably would have banned me from seeing it had he known what it was about. and that was the one movie that I got out of there. VHS tape.
Nice. Nice.
That's a good one. That's a good one to get.
Yeah.
That's a good.
And I
film.
didn't know either until I watched it. And now it's like, I'm glad I did because I probably would have never seen it otherwise.
Well, yeah, because you're like movies.
Oh, yeah. Like in the first 5 minutes, there's
Yeah.
tits.
Yeah, there is, isn't there?
Oh,
I forgot about that.
that
I'll have to
actually
okay,
explains
see that
a
movie
lot.
again.
The
All right,
royal
what
penis
was-
is clean, Your Highness.
Just
What was
going
the first
there.
movie you ever
You
saw
beat me.
boobs?
I beat you to penis.
Oh.
First
You always
movie.
do.
That's a good question, man.
What is the first? I was asking. It was Dale over here. What was the first movie you ever seen?
I
Actually,
don't know. Like I feel like it's
Oh god.
First one.
Like
that's
there was
probably like a National Geographic like story or something. I don't.
Some just African
Yeah,
women out.
I don't.
out
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I think the first time, maybe. I don't
That
know.
could be.
I got
know.
caught peeping my mom's friend when I was like 5.
Sitting in the
That
shower.
wasn't a movie though.
I remember this story. This is a good story. Go ahead.
What
Go with the story.
what story? I was
The peep in your mom's friend.
the old so we had old skeleton doors, like, or not skeleton doors, or old doors with skeleton keys. You could actually peek through the keyhole.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of my mom's friends, I was probably 5, maybe 6 years old. One of my mom's friends was changing in the bathroom, and I was peeping through the
That's
keyhole,
hilarious.
and
she's-
and I got
guess-
caught, and I got caught, and like what?
What?
That's the reason for no skeleton key.
I
no
don't know.
more skeletons.
I didn't know no better. Nobody told me not to do that.
It was
I am
never
not a
confirmed that I
pervert.
shouldn't.
No, no one ever
I
said
didn't know
that.
who was in there.
No, I was just seeing.
Yeah.
You were
Boobs.
just seeing. Just seeing what's going on in there.
No, if I remember correctly, no, there was no nudity. I don't think
Movies?
nudity. Yeah,
No, I
didn't-
know.
I didn't see any. Like movies wise,
Oh, like in the
Oh,
keyhole, you
movies
didn't
wa-
see
yeah,
any
yeah, yeah.
nudity.
I mean, I was really young, so I don't.
Movies
even
wise, though,
recall.
I'm trying to think, like, what would be the first one that I remember?
For me, it would have been like some Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Did he have
like
boobs in his movies?
Some of them.
Yeah,
Or
no, you're
like
right. It probably would have been one
Some
of
some
those
like
where.
action movie from the '80s that had boobs in it.
And then those 1980 titties. Nice.
Yeah.
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 Because we're
Like Basic
I'd have been-
Instinct titties.
Yeah.
basic. You want to please describe what's a
Basic
what's a
Instinct.
basic
The,
instinct
the
titty?
movie Basic Sharon Stone.
The
Nah,
boobies
yeah,
is
dude.
what you remember from
Dude, you're talking to a 27.
and not the snizzle.
Oh,
There
yeah.
was
that's-
boobies in it
snoozer.
though.
There was boobies.
But that was
There was more than
was
boobies
so
in Basic
overplayed,
Instinct.
though. It
That
was
was the
like
whole
a-
thing.
it was like a subliminal snatch shot. Like he was like snitch no. You know what I mean? Like here's no. You get a little glimpse, but I mean that's
you know what
really
you
Well,
saw.
yeah,
plus,
but
they
for
were
the
training
time, it was like
underwhelming.
Is it like
Yeah,
Fight
that
Club where
was-
you
it was
was
pretty
it
huge
like
for the time.
snitch, puts in one,
I
one
mean-
clip of like the of the dick,
Now
and,
it's
like with
Yeah.
the Fight Club. You see it, you know what you saw, but it's not. It's like
It doesn't
it's so-
register.
Yeah.
So I have a theory on that. I think what was happening though, like with that movie, is that they were trying to transition to the DVD, right? And they knew they had to do it slowly because everyone had VHS and all that stuff. So what they were trying to do was get the males of our gender to get really good at pausing. And so they
You'll
just
have that.
little,
You'll
little,
have
oh, it's gone.
It was there.
Oh, because everyone knows when you're watching a movie,
Uh-huh.
it's like, rewind that. I didn't see it. I'll pause it. I got to go to the
I
bathroom.
gotta
Or-
say though, I've never masturbated to one frame of a vagina.
but two.
Just one
Just
still,
back and forth.
But two. It just,
Now I understand what clam. Why they call it a clam.
It just seems
but two
like
frames.
something a priest would do.
The one
What?
frame.
Just a one frame.
Well, it's a little less sinful.
You only saw one frame.
This is only one frame.
2 frames.
I wouldn't be
You're
worried
doubling
about
your
saying
chances of
much.
going to
I
hell
would
with
probably,
2 frames.
I'd probably watch a lot of frames of that.
I'd probably watch a lot of
All of the frames.
all
You get through all of them.
All the frames.
Oh, I never get through all.
I,
of them.
I get on a site. I finish the works. Just top to bottom.
No, you-
How long
memorize
did
it.
it get? How long did it take you to get through Pornhub? I'm just kind of
That's-
curious.
Nah, you
lie.
couldn't even get through. No human has enough time ever in their life to get through Pornhub.
Oh,
The
yeah,
amount
no,
of
dude.
shit
And it's because it's an ever growing,
and
thing.
the
Like, you-
emotional ride. If you just watched every video on Pornhub, like that'd be hard
I
to
don't even-
take in. Like, could
it'd
you'd
be
be
hard to
crying
take
at
in.
times? You'd be scared. It'd be like exciting. It'd be like it'd probably be better than a really good movie. If you didn't no search bar. Just-
put shuffle.
Yep. Shovel them bitches and watch it start to finish. I bet you'd probably need to get something to eat at some point. Probably some water.
That reminds me of this joke. So there's this comedian. And I don't even
You're there
remember.
months.
That-
You would. Oh, dude. Yeah, you'd be there forever.
Yeah.
You'd be an old man.
we should do that. We should do like a super size me, but with porn.
No, we shouldn't.
You just end up hating.
That's a bad idea.
No,
but
we
hating
shouldn't.
someone
sex
will
at the
die.
end.
Size
Oh,
porn.
jeez.
Like,
Never mind.
I never want to see a vagina again. I'm gay now, but I'm not because I don't even like that. I watched all of that too. Like
No, but the roller
now I
coaster
don't
ride
even want
reminds me.
dudes.
There was this comedian. I don't remember who he was, but it was on the radio back in the day. And he's like, I've got this thing set up where Playboy sends me videos and I'm supposed to report back to them. They send me like 4 or 5 at a time. I'm supposed to report back to them, like rate the video basically to sort it out and figure out which ones they're going to use. And there's a bunch of us that do this. And he's like, the problem is the reaction's all the same. Like every one I watch, it's like interested, excited, really excited, super excited, ashamed, embarrassed. He's like, and
Aw.
that's every video I watch. And then it's just an arc. It's just an arc of every video.
Well, that's the thing is that was it ever like you dove yourself into like started watching random YouTube videos and you went down that rabbit hole? Holy shit!
Oh,
Oh, you
dude,
could
yeah,
spend
no, I
hours.
know what you mean. Like it's ridiculous. Like I'll get on there with comedians, dude, and like TikTok comedians,
Mhm.
and it's just one after the other, dude. I'm like an hour in,
Mhm.
like, well, I gotta stop and do anything else.
Well,
Well-
the next day, the only ads you get are like the Ninja Chopper.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't even understand.
Well, it's like just start I'm working on a shotgun over at the back shop over here. Trying to reblue it and all that, and I threw YouTube up on just to going through step by step how to disassemble it and make sure it's all apart. And I let the video play. Next Next thing you know, I'm watching some lady, cook a chicken. You're like,
Yeah.
how the hell did we end up here? I'm like, what the?
But you're still there. Like I kind of need to
I,
know.
I want to know how they
This
cook
looks
this
good.
rosemary chicken.
$3.50. All right. For
Yeah,
how long?
All right, I'm going home after this. I'm gonna cook this goddamn chicken.
Yeah.
And then was
Making a
it?
list of spices at that point.
Then it's like, well, the other day I was looking up, stuff for EMCs for the one sign, and screw it, I'll let it play. Next thing you know, I'm watching some kid review was it a Fortnite thing, and you're like, how the hell did I end up here? And you're like, let it play, see where you, and you just now you're invested into it to see where this goes.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I just want to see the train wreck.
It sucks.
This
Yeah.
gripping
just wanna-
story, like,
It sucks you in. It's like that Viva La Dirt League video where the dude's
the Reddit.
dude's on Reddit and he's
Yeah.
like every
Oh,
time
yeah,
he
yeah.
clicks, like he's sitting outside and it's day and he clicks on something and then it's night.
He's like,
and he
"God
clicks on
damn
something and it's day.
How long have I been here?
Dude, it's so
Same thing.
true.
Oh yeah, it is. You can get sucked in real
Oh, yeah.
quick.
I've played around on the Reddit thing, and I'm like, Jesus Christ! You know how many fucked up people are on Reddit? I mean,
Oh yeah.
All of them.
Oh, you know what the best
I think it's all of them.
the best video I think we've watched in a while. I think we'd all agree. At least Brad and I would agree. No one really cares if you agree.
Damn.
Is the goldfish versus Wall Street bets. And
Amazing.
they had this guy set up this whole algorithms computer program, and if the goldfish stayed, he put up two stocks, and if the goldfish stayed in this side of the tank longer than this side of the tank, it would buy that stock, and then it would compare it to to what Wall Street bets was saying was a good
Well, we
investment
watched
at
we
that
watched
same
Tim
time.
reacting to that video, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that
we
what
watched Tim the Tatman reacting
Okay.
to that. So, and yeah, we didn't watch that actual video, just
I'll
his
have to
reaction.
put that up because it's amazing.
Dude, that was hilarious. And the goldfish beat Wall Street bets
By quite a bit.
by quite a
By
bit. It's trading.
substantial amount.
I was just about to ask him, like, okay, how did this-
Goldfish won.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, because at
Hilarious.
that point in time, you're like,
Well, and the dude's like a
how did the goldfish do?
well, and the dude's like a programmer, so
Yeah.
he just had like the goldfish tank,
Mhm.
and then he had a camera put on it, and then he did all the programming to split it in half, and whichever side the goldfish was on
Mhm.
would be the stock. Like he would put two stocks associated with one on either side, and he would wherever the goldfish spent the most time, and when he got to the other side, they'd sell that stock and whatever, and. Dude, gold. It was
Gold
dude.
for the goldfish.
Gold
all right,
for
all
the
right.
goldfish.
Yeah. He had it down pretty
Oh, the
good.
content was just hilarious.
Goldfish had a pattern to his trading. He was very well versed. He did
And-
pretty good.
and beat Wall
Better
Street.
than
All,
me.
By a
6
lot.
months, goldfish lived. Apparently now he's like a Harvard stock, was exchanged.
man.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I would take advice from him. any day.
Yeah.
Then they got it down to like how many bubbles come up, what he's trying to say to you. It's
That-
Morse code, I swear,
That's how you
man.
determine the shares you buy.
Yeah.
3 bubbles is 4 shares.
3 bubbles.
It's a calculation. You got to calculate it.
Now you're doing fractions and shit.
Yeah.
Decimal points.
No, I'm on,
Don't get too far into this.
I'm on his email train. He just sends me the emails on which one to buy. The goldfish, not the guy.
Smitty, right? Wasn't his name
Smitty the
Smitty?
goldfish.
Smitty or Jay?
Smitty or Jay.
Something like
It was really good though. That was
Well, that was one of the other things is that I was talking about long term care for that, and yeah, 27 years old, talking about retirement, right?
Mhm.
Kind of a little fucked up, but with my situation,
I was gonna say. I assume due to your disability.
with my situation, it's like was it the life expectancy for like a guy with palsy is like like 80 now, but the quality of life to that point is shit.
Gotcha.
So I looked at it. I'm like, I'm gonna start, do like long term life, life insurance. You put so much money into it. And, at like 60, you can start with, you start talking about like everything else that you paid in for so long. I was talking to him about this kind of stuff, and he's like, well, if you put this, it's like it's almost like an IRA. It starts to like compound interest and everything
Oh,
else.
dude, yeah. That's
And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, he's like, well, if you put in $300, $300 a month from like now until 60, you'll have like 1.2 million sitting in the bank.
Mhm.
And I'm like, And if you don't, if you think that screw it, I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna take all this out and not do nursing home or home care or anything else like that. You could pull it all out free and go. I'm like, that'd be one hell of a last hoorah. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's actually a good way to go. And it's just one of those things is that was it it's just it's so similar to like when you hear about like like an IRA and stuff like that. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, and it's just it gets me thinking about like stocks and everything else, because the fact of it is that it's so out of my realm, it's unreal.
Yeah.
But I know if I find someone that I trust about it, I just hand them, just take my money, just take it.
You find someone that's good at it that
Yeah.
can show you their track record,
And you
on it,
trust them.
Yeah,
That's a big thing.
and then yeah, if you want to invest your money with that person or that group or that company or whatever it is, but make
Right.
sure they got the track record first,
right.
because that's a big thing. Like a lot of people say they can do it, and
So we just don't
it's
need
not that easy.
so we don't need another Madoff situation.
Yeah.
But no, trying to think.
That's good that you're thinking of that stuff, though.
Well, it's one of those things. Is like, okay, when this is so lately, it's one of the if I have a really hard day at work, I'll wake up the next morning and I say seized. Was my right arm doesn't want to work, and my right leg, and you're looking at the time, you're looking at that clock, and you're like, fuck, you roll out of bed, you land on your right side, all of a sudden it starts working again, and you keep moving. I'm like,
right.
that was not the way it was back in the day, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, all right, I understand what's going on. I've accepted this. It's okay.
Yeah.
But I need to figure out when I'm, 60 years old, sitting in a wheelchair.
What you're gonna
I
do.
want to make sure I had a hot nurse sitting next to me so I can slap her on the ass if she walks by.
There you go.
But those hot nurses, nurse costume, whatever,
Yeah.
costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Cheaper to just get one in a costume.
Yeah, well, yeah, that is actually true.
That's good that
Or
you're thinking
just-
of that stuff, though, at your age. I mean,
Well,
most 27-year-olds
or
wouldn't
just-
even be.
Adopt one.
Where's my phone? It's
There you
gas
go.
in my car, and where's the next chick I'm gonna get laid by?
Right. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Don't get me wrong, that is on my docket.
Uh-huh.
It's just there's some other
Just
stuff.
down
You've
the
added
line,
other
right.
things. I've added other things.
Yeah. You're
It's
multitasking.
I'm multitasking. I'm not really good at that because I can barely like chew gum and breathe at the same time.
Well, yeah, you seem to be doing all right.
Yeah.
You came in talking to us about that years ago. Like, hey, what should I do with this? And we were like, dude, retirement.
Right.
Yeah,
You
no,
got to
it's-
be thinking about retirement. The earlier you do, and even my kids, I'm like,
Yeah, I
retirement.
wish I did
The
that.
earlier you think about this,
No,
the earlier
if you
start
if
putting
you can
money
get a
towards
kid
it.
to actually start at 15, 16 years old, actually saving their money
Oh,
and putting their money towards their
millionaires,
retirement,
dude.
the amount of money they can. If you actually put, say, $500 a month into your retirement, starting at like age 18,
Right.
by the time you were 38, you could retire, pay the taxes on it, and still have plenty of money left over. Like it's just.
Oh, the
it
compounding
compounds
is-
so
is
fast,
so
and people
good.
when they're young, they waste their money. You know what I mean?
Well, and a lot of
It's-
people get discouraged too, because in the first 10 years, you really don't see a whole lot of movement because the compounding, it's happening, but it's just happening at a slower rate.
until you
And
get
then,
to
and then once you
numbers.
get past that, you really start seeing a difference in the compounding of stuff. And you go, holy shit. And then 20 years, like, holy shit. And then 30 years, like, holy shit.
Well, that's
And
well, yeah. I mean, it's just one of those. It's like I'll be the first one to say when no one likes when someone is discouraged from this kind of stuff, it's because they don't understand it.
absolutely.
And that's the biggest thing is that if you don't understand it, why not? Why are you walking away from it? Because you've heard so many good things about it. Why not actually take the time, research it, and go from there? Because the fact of it is why the fuck not?
Well, and the thing of it is, I think a lot of people think about it is if you're trading stocks,
Mhm.
you're buying and selling single stocks, your risk is huge, so volatile. A single stock is so volatile. However, if you're buying mutual funds, IRAs, you're not buying a stock, you're buying large groups of stocks. If one of those stocks tanks out and goes to nothing, it doesn't have that much effect on the mass overall
Right.
picture of your
Well, that and also
portfolio.
the buying of individual stocks and day trading, if you will, that's more of an income strategy than it is a
Retirement
retirement strategy.
Right, you wouldn't want to buy singular stocks as a retirement strategy.
No.
That would be a
No.
horrible retirement strategy.
Right.
It might work, but it's probably going to fail.
Well, you
Let's
better hope
say
you're
it's
hitting.
probably worked for very select few out there. But it's just, it's just one of those is that I started looking at it and I'm like, I'm it, things already started to scare me. So it's like one of those. I'm like, well, I better start getting on this. And right now, while you're getting it young, I don't have to pay as much. Like with long term
Right.
care and all that.
Yeah.
He's like, if you pay $300 a month until you're 60, you get this much. And well, he's like, I've had people walk up to me at 50 years old and they're throwing their entire year's paycheck.
Well, they
on stuff.
have to
Because there's was it to get to where you're gonna be at, and
Where
you're
you
gonna be
need to
sitting
be,
there
yeah.
just to be like
$35 a month.
Here
Fuck,
you
go.
Done.
Yeah.
and be like, all right, cool. And it's just one of those that I looked at it and I'm like, well, I could throw more at it. And he says at the point in time where he was saying this is that you could throw as much as you want at it. If you want to take 25% of your paycheck, we could set that up. I'm like,
Right.
I like that, and because at a point in time where I don't have to do anything. You just collect the paycheck. They take what they need. They're gonna get out of that paycheck.
Yeah.
And then that's what I know I gotta live off of. For that
Right.
that point in time.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm planning on doing. It's just I gotta get that start to set that up and everything else. But it's just the advice that I can give to anyone is because it's just if you're younger, then get in as young as possible and pay as least amount as you can.
Yeah.
Was not the least amount as you can, but
It's amazing
was-
how fast you get to where
where
you
you're
need
at.
to be, and then it's amazing how fast the years tick off,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
all
yeah.
of a sudden you're like, oh shit.
Well, being 27 years old, and they're like, well, if you started at 25, you would have an extra, 200, $250,000. And you're like, for a 2-year span, they're
Oh,
like,
yeah.
don't worry, because it's just one of those like, well, this is what happens, and you start compounding the interest and everything else, and they run the algorithms and everything else. They're like, well, this is what it's supposed to look like when I'm like, damn, but it is what it is.
Well, it's all dependent on the market and everything else.
Right, but
think
every-
you
the
gotta
algorithm-
take a mean over a certain amount
You
of
have
years
your ups
and go,
and
"This
downs,
is
but the
where
downs are
we'll
great
be."
when you're young because when you're
You buy more.
buying, you're actually buying more for your money.
Yeah.
So when it does come back,
Mhm.
you get even bigger gains. I bought at one point in time when it was real low and 70% gains in a year. Because it was the right time to buy.
Right.
And then over the next year or two, 10% loss, 5% gain. You know what I mean? It wasn't, but the 1 year was huge.
Right,
So it all kind of averages out to a.
a nice steady.
Yeah, I don't know anybody there's nobody that's invested in the market when they were young who took it out when they were old and didn't make money.
Right.
The stock market charts prove that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, that's the thing is that what is it you're talking like okay, my grandfather is the example. He was with Zacommed. He was with ComEd for 40 some odd years. Now, with that is 30 some odd years. But they had a program where was it they would match whatever you would put into their stock. So he
Right, the
took
stock matching program.
yeah, was it he like threw half his paycheck in
Yeah.
every time, and they would match him dollar for dollar. I'm like,
Which is good because now they have a limit on what they'll match.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Back
but
then they
they
probably
didn't. They were like, no one's gonna do this, and they're like, well, was it? They actually took advantage of this, and we owe a lot of people a lot of money, and
Yep.
that's why it was one of the big reasons why they forced him to retire, because if he kept going the way he was going, the amount
It
of
would have
money,
costed them so much money.
Money,
It's
right.
cheaper to just get this guy out of here and give him his money.
give him his money now, give him this money now, because if he spends another 5 years here, he's gonna actually almost double, what he's making,
Oh,
right
yeah.
now. So
yeah.
it's just it. And when I was with Hair Clinic, they did something similar to that. It was like 25% of every dollar that I put in. It was like 25 cents on the dollar. So I was doing that for a while.
They would match.
Yeah, they would match whatever
Yeah.
I was doing, and then that whole spiel is that they had a bunch of different programs, 401k stuff like that I threw in. I gotta transfer that over because it was one of those I have to for like with unions and all that. 'Cause I haven't put anything into that 401k. I thought it was just when you're done there, you stop. No, I didn't know you could transfer. That.
Yeah.
which was-
It's your money. You can take
Right.
it.
Well, you can roll it over into an IRA or another 401k, or you just got different options you can do with that.
Well, I always thought is that each job you had, if you had a 401k, at least stays there. You start another one, another job. No, no, it's not how that works. I didn't
No,
know
in fact,
that, but-
that's not what you want to do.
dude, that's not what you want to do. Oh, was it?
You're
But
playing with smaller pots of money here.
yeah,
Yeah.
and a bunch of them all over the place.
Yeah, might as well just have one giant.
Combine them together. Yeah.
Right. What? No, what was it? I got a hanger heads.
Figure last topic or something, huh?
Last topic.
All right.
AI?
Let's see them balls.
I'll show you these hangers. Dunk.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, we can do
You
an
got
AI.
flashlight
We can
down
do an
here?
AI.
You want to do
conversation.
AI?
You
I'm
wanna
down
wanna
for
do
AI.
an
'cause I
AI? Have you
love
heard about the
this shit.
Chat GPT shit?
No.
I knew the answer.
I don't know that much about it though, so it's a conversation that's going to be had by know nothing.
Yeah.
Welcome to the internet.
Yeah. I'm gonna give my
This is
opinion.
going to
on-
be on the internet.
We just.
I'm gonna give my opinion on something I know little about.
I
Welcome
didn't
to
even know
America.
I didn't even.
We're
know.
gonna live forever.
That's accurate.
Well, I mean, I am.
On the internet.
I'm
You're
surprised
probably
I'm
gonna
here
have
today.
health problems soon. Was talking to your girlfriend. He
Yeah.
said, "I'll just poison him."
It's weird. She keeps telling me I'm jumping off a cliff in my future.
She keeps trying to press me to eat
And
the
she wants
food.
to go to the
She
Grand
keeps-
Canyon all the
She
time.
keeps pulling the tarot card. It's just me jumping off a cliff. I didn't even know that was a tarot card.
There's 5 of them.
They have my face on them and everything.
She threw
man.
some bones, and then like it just turned into a picture of me
It's
jumping
5
off a
tarot
cliff.
cards, but it's the progression of him falling.
Oh my! Oh, this is a deeper falling
And
card.
the
Oh,
last one
man.
is her collecting some
What do
insurance
you
money
do,
or something.
blackjack?
It's like back in the day when you had like you
I
like the
don't even
pictures in the
have
corner with the paper.
insurance.
It's,
Yeah.
it's a cartoon.
She's got one of those things. She's just like.
Pick a number. All right, now pick a
I have
color.
different ones for whether Mercury is in retrograde or not.
That's the wrong one I got. We got to do it again. You didn't jump off a cliff in this one.
They have the future telling them.
It's like,
Oh,
does
man.
Justin still love me? It's just a picture of you jumping off a cliff.
Weird.
You love me, right? You'll do this.
That's definitely a yes till the day he dies.
Death do us part. It is, as long as that's near.
So AI, Justin, tell me about AI.
What about AI?
No,
Just
I
Justin?
just want Justin. to
Just
tell me about
Justin?
AI.
Hold up. Is
All right,
this
so
AI? We're talking like Terminator shit right now?
As Justin's representative,
Okay.
Oh fuck.
Were you officially hired? Are you on payroll?
I would like to
I
see.
am.
I'd like to see how you pass the bar.
Excuse me, I would like to confer
I didn't say
with
legal
my
representative. I said representative. I'm his anger translator.
Oh, interesting.
That's far more accurate.
That sounds about right.
Yes, angry white guy, translated by angrier white guy.
I'm pissed. I'm really pissed.
No, so we had this whole conversation. It was yesterday about AI.
I'm listening.
Okay,
You
so
got- you got-
go ahead with your. Let's start off the same way. 'cause
So
I-
you want me to have the same conversation
correct?
that we already had,
No, it'll be different.
So I'm here.
but the same. So you want me to say the exact same thing I said yesterday?
No, I would never ask you to do that because there's no way that's going to happen.
What's gonna happen?
That, that you're going to say the same thing.
I am not gonna say the same thing.
Tell me about this SG.
I don't know. I heard
MB.
they were talking about
or
Chat
whatever it is.
GPT,
Okay.
which is a program that, from what I understand, takes a bunch of information from the internet, crunches it down extremely quickly, and gives you answers to questions that you otherwise would have to spend a lot of time doing.
Yeah, be like, hey, Chat GPT, like, what's the fastest way to make myself ejaculate? Like, that's what I think I'd be.
That's how you would use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a really interesting.
Your prostate, you don't need that.
question. You
I'll
gave
help
it
you
there.
out.
Perfect.
So
It just says C Dale. Oh, all
Yeah,
right.
I got you.
But it feels like a conspiracy theory.
What does
The whole
AI
GP
feels like a
thing,
conspiracy theory? So like,
GPC,
so like,
Elemental P.
like landing on the moon feels like a conspiracy theory.
No,
No,
that's different.
did that happen though?
Yes.
This didn't. I don't understand what you're saying.
No, like
I'm
Well,
so
you were
confused.
saying because I think the other
It's
the
going
conversation
to
was like,
change this type of
like,
AI system. It's a personal.
It's changing.
It's a personal AI system. A person can use that.
So instead of like, you know,
It's go-
how, like what the past generations have, like what I have is considered like Google. That's where you go find something. You're actually can just, you know, was he use
That's
this,
what I
and
said.
which are you actually now? It's compressing all
Well,
that to a quick
exactly.
answer.
Instead of having, and this is just the way I understand. Maybe I'm incorrect exactly, but from what I've read, instead of having to search Google and read through the bullshit and determine what the right answer is,
get to page 3.
it does that already.
Yeah,
It does that immediately for you.
Mhm.
And I believe that they even said like it's not always correct or something of that nature, but it is an intelligence system that is from I guess what I grasp going to be available to everybody. Like you're going to be able to use this thing as an AI system to augment your own reality.
Well, I believe the
with
argument
information
was
you normally wouldn't have.
that like someone applying for some job, a
Well,
high-end job or
yeah.
whatever. One of the arguments anyway is that they would be able to use this,
to
fill
manipulate.
out the application accordingly,
Mhm.
and get the job over people that otherwise should be deserving of the job.
Or maybe more qualified, but
Or right.
maybe they don't use that app or whatever. So it's just another technology that's going to.
It's a cheat. It's like a real life cheat.
Well, everything's
Well,
kind of a real life cheat. Google's a real life
mean,
cheat. Do you remember when we used to have to print maps in order to go somewhere?
Do you
off
remember
of-
the Dewey Decimal System?
No,
Yes, yes,
You
I
don't?
do.
I do not. remember
Honestly, you don't remember.
Have you ever been to a library? I think they still use the Dewey.
We're old as fuck.
What's the library?
It's this place.
Oh, that's where they
where they
keep all your
collect
hopes
books?
and dreams locked up
Yeah.
away from you.
You gotta have a library card to get one. You know, get a dream apparently.
Yeah.
If
I know anything about
got my library
Very card, cool.
and I can go pick out a dream.
if I know anything about
I just got a question. Why did you go to like little Timmy there? Like, you know, God bless us, everyone.
Exactly. Well, you know, you got to
'Cause
be
that's
like, you're
who Justin
hopeless.
is.
Like,
He is little Timmy.
I think he's dead accurate because I think there's only libraries in the UK anymore. I don't think they exist here.
There's one literally right down the road from your house.
No
have
one
you been
goes
there?
Me personally?
No.
Yeah, I've sat outside for a little while.
I was gonna say
Okay, being in the parking lot smoking
Took
weed
some
is a little bit
pictures.
different.
last time. Let's just go around. Let's just do a poll.
Well, hold on.
Let's just do
I
a poll.
needed some
Last time
papers.
anyone was in a library.
High
Dale.
school.
Sorry.
I'm
Does Barnes
sorry.
and Noble's count as a library, or is that
No,
just a
that's a
bookstore?
bookstore.
It's a bookstore. So actual library,
Libraries don't have Starbucks in them.
high school.
Okay.
High school.
He's not sure what the
I'm
question
gonna
is.
like a
Gone
I mean,
to
A
into,
library.
like a
Like it
library.
said
Oh, dude,
library.
it's probably pre-high. school.
Actually, no, I take that back. I've taken my daughter to the library there in Limestone.
But did you actually get a book? You
No,
yourself?
I took my daughter. I just said that.
I know, but you didn't get a
And so
book.
we went
No.
inside.
So
I-
she got a book.
well, actually, the last time I was at a library, I was picking up someone's car for repair. So there.
The
That
last
was,
time
that was
you
a few years ago.
Okay, maybe we
But,
should change
dude,
this. The last time
it's-
you checked a book out from a library.
Oh, dude, I was
Dude, yeah, I can't. think.
early double
You-
digits, maybe, if that. Dude,
I gotta say,
Hence
college.
Google.
Actually, I
I have-
keep forgetting. I went to college. Yeah, I guess it would be college.
Oh.
if it weren't for magazines, because
Playboy don't
we
count.
grew up in the magazine age,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have
Magazine.
read. Like I wouldn't
Dude,
like
read
same.
magazine.
like
I hated
not
reading.
paper.
There's
I
actual
hated reading.
articles in those, so you don't have to jack off to them the whole time.
You don't jack off to the articles either?
No,
I mean, obviously, I read
I'm,
them
I'm an
here,
image
but,
guy.
like, yeah,
I like stories. I'm a big.
I like stories, but I
big-
like playing them. So that's why I do
Games.
games.
Yeah.
I think about your life.
Anyway, on to back to
That's
Well, the
AI.
game of
back to
life?
AI.
AI.
So you'll never. We're gonna put libraries out of business. Is what we're gonna do.
I mean, libraries.
dude,
so
no, look,
okay,
people
so I
like
don't
the
think
least
written
go.
text goes out of business because
Least
written
goes.
text is the only way to safeguard text. You can't. The internet's not safeguarded. That shit could be deleted. All of it. It's out there somewhere, maybe on somebody's flash drive, hard drive, whatever.
Sure.
But it's not like they've saved the whole of the internet and put it in an underground bunker that's protected, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. You know, there are books that are actually that way.
Majority of that internet is porn.
However, yeah.
Is that
no, like
facts?
90%.
I'm gonna look that up. That's gonna be on the green screen.
Is
So
that-
you know, the percentage of the internet
percentage of
that
the
is
internet.
porn.
That's a
Nice
good,
little pie chart.
Just so you know.
dude. You know what it is? Is that's why we don't have aliens here? Is because every time they come here, they just get like infected with like
They're
a
just like
virus. It's
porn
just
viruses?
a virus.
They're like,
from porn.
nah, never
Shit,
mind.
man. Oops.
So is-
they
so
just
is-
come here. Earth is like syphilis capital. You know, it's just like syphilis of the space. You know, it's just
What
like
are the
That why
laws
they
of
Oh,
alien
man,
robots? I mean,
stay out of that Milky Way. That's why we're called.
That's
the
that
Milky
other
Way.
AI
That's-
system's fault.
that's where-
Tinder.
We're the Las Vegas of the universe. No
Oh
one
man,
comes
let's
here
go to
for
Earth and
anything
fuck
good.
some of them crazy ass people. Them humans will fuck anything.
Oh, I
that's where
know, the
anal
news
came
stories
along.
prove
It's
it.
like they,
They didn't even do it. We actually requested it. They're just like, I don't know. They kept
What do you
telling
get-
me to
you're
put
not-
it in their butt. So they just come down and probe us.
That's what
now.
they, okay. I know. I seen a South Park about that once.
Wait, we keep going back because I
got that.
like it.
The moon.
Yeah. So you want to stick on AI, and the whole thing with AI is yes, AI
I'd love a
eventually
stick on
eventually
AI.
wipes out half the population. I know this is where you're going with it because you think that AI is somehow going to be good like the rest of mankind. And
Who said the rest of mankind is good? I'm gonna
And
tell
you're
you right now,
wrong.
we're fucked
it's
up.
going to be Terminator. I've seen the fucking movies. They're
was there
going
6
to
movies
nuke
now?
us
Yeah.
strategically. And it's going to be big cities. They're going
Yeah,
to wipe
but
out the big
dude-
cities.
Okay, but Terminator's had like 6 movies now. Like Kyle just said, like they
This-
still haven't figured out how to get rid of all of us.
yeah, but
What
those
were you
movies
saying?
suck. I would never want like
The
I,
argument was fucking.
I live in a fucking cage and there's metal things
but-
with guns trying to kill me if I go outside. I don't want to live like that, man.
Well,
I
but
want
dude,
I want to go fucking take my Jeep out.
I
the
think
reason the Terminators haven't figured out how to kill all of us is because
on.
Keanu Reeves.
that's true.
fucking John Wick, man.
And we still have Keanu Reeves. Is my argument.
Did the Terminators kill John Wick's puppy?
we can blame it on. We
they-
can do it.
Oh man.
we just gotta do it strategically. We gotta blame it on him. I have no
turned-
problem shooting a puppy for the human race.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I couldn't shoot a puppy. I definitely wouldn't shoot John Wick's puppy and be like, I'm just gonna put this on somebody else. Have you seen what that guy can do?
I bet we
He's
can
got a
make
scragglier beard than me.
I could
That's a
talk,
dangerous man right there.
I could
On
talk
the-
someone else into doing it though.
You all right? Well, maybe.
Like if you had to.
Yeah, until you tell him it's John Wick.
No, you don't. That's part of it. You don't tell.
I think honestly, I think if you killed Keanu Reeves' puppy, he'd probably press charges, and you'd see yourself in court.
It's probably the most likely.
I don't
I'm not sure exactly where this went.
think.
So about Terminator,
I don't
and
even think he can kill somebody
we're
with a
gonna have
pencil.
John Wick on our side, and yeah, we got to figure out how to get John Wick on our side is to kill his puppy.
I can see already that I'm gonna have more and more editing to do as this
This
goes.
goes on.
Yeah.
We have like 2.5 hours of was it audio, but only about 20 minutes of this shit's actually
Yeah.
okay to use.
So yeah, AI is coming for us all. I saw the movie I, Robot. I've seen lots of
And those
movies.
fucking vacuums.
And,
The fact that you're still in civilization and
Wait,
not
you're
living off
talking
the
about,
grid is
like,
just tremendous.
Mega Maid. from
more or less
Spaceballs?
am living off the grid at this point.
Suck.
I missed something. Here.
We
What
turning
the
this into
fuck?
something else? What are we doing?
What?
We were talking about.
Well,
the
he
vacuums.
said something about vacuums, and I said, "What? Like Mega Maid from Spaceballs?"
Ah,
I figure the vacuums are taking over.
the vacuum.
The,
The
robot
Dykems?
vacuums,
Like Roombas
Roombas.
or
They're
the
taking over.
eye vacuums. or
That's the
whatever
real
they're like.
threat.
They're just gonna go around. They're getting all the dirt on us. Ah.
Not to mention,
That was
All right, I'm out. Fuck
Not
it.
not to mention the socks. I mean,
You
you're
got
already,
socks stuck in yours?
you're already losing socks left and right. What are the Roombas getting? Socks.
They're eating socks? I've never seen a Roomba eat a sock. I
Well,
think
yeah,
it's stuck
because-
under the couch
How many
a hundred
Roombas have you
times.
owned?
I watched a room and go through some dog shit
I've-
spread across the
A
house.
lot.
Ooh.
Like 100, 200, 300, 400 Roobas. I don't know.
Rubas?
Rubas. What are we talking about? We're not talking about Rubas?
Roombas.
Oh,
I-
we're so
I-
off track.
What's a Roomba?
What was my parents'
Is that like a
dog.
Roomba?
You don't know what a Roomba is?
No.
The fucking robot
Oh,
vacuum.
a Eufy.
What the fuck? Jesus.
Yuffie.
Are you intentionally sabotaging this podcast?
No, I'm
thought
just trying to understand that you're talking about
I thought
you're
it-
talking about Eufys though.
Is a Eufy like a selfie, but it's just like I take a picture of you? Like
That's-
it's a Eufy.
That's an
Buddy, that's
entire
exactly
that's
what it
just a picture, you asshole.
And the cleans hardwood floors.
that's an entire podcast in and of itself. Is you just have one person whose only job is to sabotage the podcast. Everyone else tries to, and we could sell it to we can sell it to MTV.
Wait a minute. Hold on. It was a time machine?
So like,
'Cause
wait, you
MTV's not really
just
a thing
basically
anymore,
have
is
to
it?
be in. You just
So-
literally going out and just being a guest on a podcast and being
somebody,
an asshole.
So you get
Like-
all these people together, like 4 people like this, but somebody is the one ruining.
Oh, so it's like a random thing.
and
Like,
then we got to figure out who's the one. They already made a show like this, but it's
mean-
a podcast show.
well, I mean, it'd be kind of obvious because you're just like you're the one just spouting
in the red hat.
ridiculous shit.
In the red.
Anyway, back to the Eufys.
I'm picking up what you're putting down now. Thank you. It took me a second. I'm like, why the red hat? Oh, I'm a dipshit. It's okay.
I feel like I'm being attacked here.
Yeah, you
Are you triggered?
And it will continue
It's more of
after
a,
the podcast, though.
If I was-
but it's
if I
not
was
a
triggered,
physical
you know,
or a
I'm a-
it's-
Unlicensed concealed carry holder.
Yeah.
And he's been drinking.
but
This is gonna be a
it's
great
less
time.
of a physical or verbal abuse.
So anyway, Jesus Christ, the editing that's gonna have to happen here. So anyway, Kyle, thank you for coming out.
Well, thank you for having me.
Podcast number 2.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming out. I promise I will edit this in a kind light.
Wait,
I
wait, hold on a
almost-
second. I thought you said you weren't gay.
Wait,
When did
what?
it come out?
Oh,
Yeah, it came out about 2 years ago. It was right after that
I'm s-
incident. I picked him up out of the dumpster and I took him home.
You know what?
I feel a little bad.
I changed my mind.
and with that, we'll
You're
see you guys
all
on the next one.